Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're joining me for the very first time, my name is Florence, and I'm glad that I'm making this tutorial today. I welcome you to this channel. It's a place of learning, especially for beginners. So if you're just starting out, you're confused about a lot of fashion things, I'm here to guide you. This is the right place to be. Okay, don't mind my voice. I'm having cold. Okay, I decided to make this video regardless. So today we are working on a freehand collar. You must have been wondering the possibility of making collar with ease. There are a lot of other ways. There are a lot of other drafting method where you can use to achieve your collar, which I'm still going to teach in this channel. But for today, I want to teach you the easiest and the simplest way to make your collar. Okay, so first of all, this collar is a freehand collar, so we are going to be marking directly on our fabric, and everything we are going to be doing is going to be in this fabric. Do you understand? It will be on the fabric rather. So like I've said, I'm going to teach you the other way of drafting collar, but today let's start with this beginner friendly collar that you just draft directly on your fabric. You can use it for you're ready to wear and whatever, and I'm going to tell you the measurements that you're going to be needing for that. So it's a very simple tutorial, like I've said. Without further ado, let's dive into the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing you're going to have to do is to fold your fabric into two like this. We're not going to be using entirely everything that is here. We're going to share this fabric. We're going to cut out what we need. So first of all, I want you to know the width I'll be working with. The width of the collar I'm working with is 16 inches. And how do you know the collar width you're supposed to work with? Well, this depends entirely on the round neck of the person you're working with. Sorry about that. Depends on the round neck. You can use between 16 to 18 inches if you're doing ready to wear. Do you understand? This is going to work perfectly. But if you have your clients on ground, please go ahead to measure round. Just place your tape and measure round the neck of that person. Whatever that is, that's what you're going to be using as your collar width. I hope this part is clear. So what I'm going to be using for this tutorial is 16 inches, or let's use 15.5 inches. Do you get that? So from this 15.5 inches, I'm going to add 3 inches to it. The reason for this 3 inches is because we are cutting directly on this fabric, and we are going to be extending for the collar fall. Do you understand? So if you don't understand what collar stand is the one that would be like this and have a curvy part towards the end, but the collar fall is the one that would fall on it. I hope you get that part. All right, so we are extending for the collar fall, this one that comes this way, and this will now be the collar stand. I hope you get that. Okay, so that's why we are adding that 3 inches to accommodate for this part. So 15.5 plus 3 inches is going to give us 18.5. That is what we are cutting lengthwise, and this our fabric is on fold. We are going to be cutting between 4.5 to 5 inches. Do you understand? That's for the width. All right, so I'll go ahead and mark that and let you see. We'll first of all start with the baseline, just so we have a straight line for marking here. Please, if there's anything you do not understand in this tutorial, don't forget to ask me. Like I said, the length of our collar is 18.5. It's supposed to be 15.5, but we added extra 3 inches. That made it 18.5. So I'll mark that 18.5 inches. Please, I'm just starting out, like you know, so if you watch this video and you see that there are some things I need to improve on, don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section. I take corrections very necessary, and I take it very important. So I would see to following your suggestions and all. Thank you so much. I would appreciate that. So this is the 18.5 width I have marked out there. The next thing I'm going to do is to the length 18.5 is to mark the width of 4.5. Like I said, you can use between 4.5 or 5 inch for the whiteness to accommodate for the collar fall and the collar stand. Okay, so this is 4.5. I'll go ahead and roll that into a straight line like so. if you're watching this video off YouTube, please, I'm going to split this video into two because I don't want it to be so long. So I'll split it in two parts. So once you're done watching the part one, you can go ahead to watching part two. So here I have my fabric already cut out, I mean drafted out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this part of the fabric. This is what we need for the collar. All right guys, so I'm proceeding to cutting this out right now. Okay, please be patient. I'm almost going off the line. Be patient and do this correctly. This is one of the easiest tutorial you'll see so far on collar. Okay, yes, so we have our piece here and we can easily work with this now. So the next thing we are going to do is to fold this into two again, equally into two, like so. Okay, don't mind the way I'm turning it. I'm just trying to make sure that I have an angle I can easily work with. So you fold it like two again. Remember, it was like this and we decided to fold it back like this, just as if you want to cut your 360-degree flay. If you don't know how to do that, please comment under the put it under the comment section. I'm going to make a tutorial on how to do that. So this is our fabric folded into two already like this. Okay, so this part now is the enclosed portion of the clothes. Okay, it's covered, it's closed. This part is closed, and this part we can see just two opening. Then this other part, if you count it, you can easily count four. If you're counting this way, you're counting just two. Then here is one. Do you understand? So the part we are working on is here. This part that you can easily count 1, 2. Do you get? Not the splitted part into 4, not even the one that is folded into 1. So we are working on this part. So what you're going to do is to bring your tape. Make sure this thing is properly aligned. Okay, you can pin it down just to be sure. Bring your tape and mark down 2.75 inches. So this is my 2.5 inch. I will come down here 2.75 inches, and you can rule that out so that you know 2.75 inches. What we are trying to do right now is to create the collar fall. So we've come down by 2.75 inches. The next thing we are going to do is to go in by 2 inches. We came down 2.75, we are going in by 2. Once you mark that, just leave that part like that for now. Okay, the next thing you're going to do now is to mark on this folded part. You're going to mark your round neck divide by 2, which our own was 15.5, right? So that's going to be half of it is going to be 7.75. I'm going to mark 7.75 here. Then I'll go ahead and add 0.5 for sewing allowance. Do you understand? Once I mark that, I would leave that point there. So we marked 7.75, then I added 0.5 for sewing allowance. I hope you understand up to this point. The first thing I did was to measure the neck, round neck. I marked it and I added 3.5. That's what we used to fold this fabric. Then we folded the fabric again into 2. We came down from here by 2.75 inches. Then we went in by 2 inches. Down here, what I marked is 7.75, which is half of my round sorry about that, half of my round neck. Then I added this 0.5 for ease, for sewing allowance. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is to connect this part to this part. All right, sorry about that. So we are going to connect this to this part to the tip. Please make sure that it's at the tip. So once that is done, then this part will connect it to this place, forming the collar stand like this. Just carefully connect it. Okay, so you can see our collar forming already, right? All right, so if you can leave this collar like this. You can see our collar forming already. You can leave it like this. Okay, this is the collar for, this is the collar stand. You can leave it like this, but a proper collar is supposed not to have a straight edge like this. It's supposed to have, this part is usually curvy. If you want to leave it like this, it's fine, but I prefer to have that curvy part. So what you do if you need that curvy effect is to come down here by 0.5 inch. Okay, then you connect it slantly to this part too, like this. You connect it into the tip like that. Okay, so with this now we are done drafting the collar. Let me cut this out and see what it looks like. Okay, so with this now we are done cutting the collar. Let me open it up so you see what it looks like. So this is a one-piece collar. Once I open this up now, this is what the collar looks like. I hope you can see that. So this is the collar fall, and this is the collar stand. We'll go ahead now and do the sewing. I'm going to make a tutorial to show you how to sew it. Okay, so you can see the part that we decided to curve. It's not looking entirely straight, it is all curved. So let's dive straight into the part 2 of it. So the first thing we are going to do is to pick one of this collar. Then we are going to fold in 0.5 or iron down 0.5 inch like so. Okay, I've ironed this part down. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to sew in 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, following the shape of this collar. I'll mark 0.5 and sew it round this collar. I'll go and do that, then come back and show you. All right guys, so I finished sewing this part. Okay, so I first of all sewed the 0.5 inch and I followed the shape like I told you. So this part was not straight, so I decided to run another stitch here just so we have a perfect line. I hope you understand what is happening there. The aim is just to achieve a perfect shaping for that part of the collar. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to go ahead and notch this part, most especially, then notch every other part. And let me be doing. So our collar is nicely and neatly formed. Look at it, what it looks like. You just go ahead and attach this to your shirt, and that's it. I hope you've learned something. Like and follow, share and subscribe.